Imagine going to a marriage ceremony, you got there and realized that she is getting married to 4 groomsmen. This one be true story. Oh, my people, gather close. Yes, you there chewing groundnut, stop cracking it so loud. This one is not ordinary story. Oh, this one happened in our neighboring town, Ajegunle, the headquarters of Walla itself. You see, in this life, love can make a woman cook stew that will confuse both human beings and their village gods. Oh, don't laugh yet. By the time I finish, you'll start checking who brings food to you with too much smile. Now, make I tell you about Bimpe. Everybody called her Bimpe Pepper. Beautiful girl, shaped like Coca-Cola butter. Face like angel that borrowed small trouble from Shakorat's market spirit. She sold smoked fish and pepper in the main market, always arranging her stall like she was preparing for inspection from heaven. But her problem, my people, started the day her eyes jammed turned the fine boy. That boy was too fine for peace. Fine in face, fine in walking, fine in uselessness. His laughter alone could spoil a woman's home. He and his 3 partners in crime, Sola, Keke, and Connor, used to sit under one yellow umbrella near the mechanic shop, playing draft and disturbing public peace. Every time they laughed, even the sun would stop and listen. Now, Bimpe had been pretending not to notice him for months. But one day, as she was fanning her fire, Tunde winked at her. My brothers and sisters, that wink landed like a prophecy. From that day, pepper lost its taste in Bimpe's mouth. From that day, Bimpe began to act strange. She would clean her face with the same rag she used for the store, just to check her reflection. She would fry plantain for herself and forget to add salt. Ayabo the plantain seller, you know that one whose mouth runs like generator, notice fast, Bimpe Pepper, who borrowed your mind? Ayabo asked one hot afternoon. You're looking at Tunde like person waiting for nipple light to come back. Go and mind your bully, Bimpe hissed, pretending to count change. But her face betrayed her. Ayabo just laughed. When love wire woman, even the broom in her room will know, my people, that night Bimpe couldn't sleep. She tossed left. She tossed right, she even prayed, God, if this is love, reduce the dosage small. But the more she prayed, the more Tunde's laughter echoed in her head like church bell. By morning, she said, enough is enough. If ordinary beauty cannot catch him, then I will use technology. And by technology, she meant Mama Shakorat. Oh, Mama Shakorat, the woman of 1001 mixtures. People said she once turned a thief into yam. Others said she could make your enemies sneeze until they confess. Her shop smelled like herbs, pepper, and unfinished business. Bimpe went there with fear and boldness, sharing one seat in her heart. Mama, I need help, she whispered. Mama Shakorat didn't even raise her head. Who broke your heart, or who do you want to break? Bimpe swallowed hard. There is one man. Tunde. He doesn't see me. I want his eye to open. The old woman laughed. My daughter, love charm is like akara, once you fry too much, it burns the pan. I'll be careful, Mama. I just want him to look my direction. Mama Shakorat sighed. You young girls of nowadays, if man doesn't see you, go and walk past him twice. Why are you summoning spirits over ordinary man? But business is business. She reached for a calabash and started mixing. This one is called for boys too, she said. You will cook it with goat meat. Don't taste it. Don't share it. Only the man must eat. If it touches another person's tongue, and You will see drama that Nollywood cannot shoot. Bimpe nodded like lizard. Yes, ma. The old woman handed her a small packet wrapped in red cloth. Mix this in the stew. And remember, love is measured by hand, not heart. Don't let it spill. That night, Bimpe cooked like she was cooking for Judgment Day. Goat meat, pepper, onions, palm oil shining like blessing. She dropped the packet inside the pot. The smell that came out, and even her ancestors stood up from their graves to inhale. When she was done, she smiled to herself. Tomorrow, Tunde will know Pepper Pa's beauty. Morning came. Bimpe carried her pot and marched to the market, walking like a woman carrying both confidence and catastrophe. She saw Tunde and his friends under the umbrella. They were laughing as usual, mouths wide enough to fit destiny, or Bimpe Pepper. KK shouted. What are you carrying there? Hope it's for us, oh. Bimpe smiled sweetly. My mother said I should bring small stew for you boys. She cooked too much. God bless mothers. Sola shouted, already standing. Tunde grinned. Bring it, my dear. Your mother will go to heaven straight. Before Bimpe could say only Tunde should, they had already surrounded the pot like 4 hungry goats. They began eating, talking, laughing, and licking fingers. Oh, this stew is fire. KK exclaimed, I feel it in my soul, Sola added. Bimpe's smile froze. She watched in slow motion as all 4 of them cleaned the pot until it looked like new. That moment, my children, even thunder held its breath. 4 boys had swallowed destiny like EBA. The stew of love had turned to stew of confusion. Mama Shakorat's spirit somewhere just shouted, "It don't be." By evening, the news had spread. Something was wrong with the boys under the umbrella. They all started acting like lovesick goats. Tunde passed Bimpe's stall 5 times that day, pretending to buy fish. Sola bought pepper worth 50 naira and paid with 2,000, just to start conversation. KK wrote her name on his hand and started calling it tattoo. Connor began sweeping her front yard like a man possessed. The market women noticed. Huh. What did you put in their eyes? One asked. I didn't do anything, Bimpe said, trying to sound innocent, but innocence had packed and left her house. At night, they came knocking one after the other. Bimpe, are you asleep? That was Tunde. Just checking if you need anything. That was Sola. Can I wash your plates? That fool Connor. Bimpe, I love you. Oh. Open. KK, drunk on affection, she locked the door and prayed, God, if this is blessing, please collect it back with receipt. The next day, the 4 of them started fighting over who would carry her market goods. KK nearly broke Tunde's head with a coconut. Sola began quoting love poems that didn't rhyme. Connor stopped bathing. Tunde just followed her everywhere, eyes red like man who owed ancestors. The next day, the 4 of them started fighting over who would carry her market goods. KK nearly broke Tunde's head with a coconut. Sola began quoting love poems that didn't rhyme. Connor stopped bathing. Tunde just followed her everywhere, eyes red like man who owed ancestors. Even Ayabo got scared. Bimpe Pepper. You don't fall in love, you fell into Walla. Go and see Mama Shakorat before you marry all of them by mistake. So that night, Bimpe ran to the herbalist's house again. Mama Shakorat looked at her and sighed. You shared the stew, didn't you? It was not my fault, Mama. They rushed it. Oh. Mama clapped her hands. I told you it's for boys too, not for boys plural. Do you want to turn this town to reality show? Please, Mama, Help me undo it. The old woman shook her head. To undo is expensive. You must pay with witness. When 4 men eat one charm, they must all marry one wife, you. Bimpe screamed. God forbid. Mama Shakarat shrugged. Then prepare for madness. The charm is awake. Somebody must marry somebody. 2 days later, the whole town gathered. News had spread faster than gossip after church service. People came with folding chairs, popcorn, and curiosity. There stood Bimpe, wearing wrapper tight like she was ready to fight fate itself. Before her stood Tunde, Sola, KK, and Connor, all declaring, "We will marry her together." The crowd shouted. Some clapped. Some prayed. One pastor fainted. Mama Shakarat came out dressed in black lace, carrying her walking stick like microphone. Let the ceremony begin, she announced. The boys tied one long white thread connecting all their wrists to Bimpe's. The drummer started playing confused rhythm because even they didn't know which groom to follow. Mama Shakarat raised her stick. Let love be shared equally. And with that, the sky changed color. Thunder clapped once, ph. Like a slap from heaven. Everyone screamed and ran. When dust settled, all 4 men were gone. In their place stood one man, with one body and 4 shadows dancing behind him. He looked at Bimpe and smiled. We are here. Then poof, darkness swallowed them. By morning, Bimpe woke up alone in her room. The pot of stew was gone. The market was silent for the first time in history. People whispered. Ayabo swore she saw 4 shadows walking behind one man near the mechanic shop. The pastor said it was group deliverance gone wrong. Mama Shakarat simply laughed and told people to stop using food for ministry. As for Bimpe, she packed her fish, tied her scarf, and went back to selling like nothing happened. But when men came to buy, she always smiled and said, "Eat with sense, oh. Not every stew is for everybody." Tunde eventually came back, or maybe it was the 4 of them sharing one body, nobody knows. He started greeting people quietly, paying exact change, and avoiding any food he didn't cook himself. People still tell the story in Ajegunle today. They call it the stew of many mouths, and whenever a young lady says she wants to cook love into a man's life, the elders just laugh and say, "Oh, my daughter, remember Bimpe Pepper. Love's too sweet, but if you overstir it, you will feed the whole village." My people, in this life, cook with sense. If you want love, use patience, not portion. Because once stew crosses 4 mouths, even the gods start writing complaint letters. So if any fine boy is refusing to notice you, don't go and see Mama Shakarato. Just buy new perfume, mind your business, and eat your own food. Because, as our elders say, love cooked with juju may sweet for one day, but the washing plate go last forever.